Yeah. All right, y'all can hear me? Because it's kind of windy, so I'm going to do what I can. All right, welcome Soul Future. I am APEXXSOLAR1, the Grand High Exalted High Lord Executioner, peace and blessings. Today's topic is going to be, is it all over? Remember the old New Edition song, Is This the End? Well, I'm here to inform y'all that this is the last solar vibration that's coming through. And what you're seeing now with all the killings and, if y'all don't know it, women going crazy. And soul and spiritual people either getting themselves together or not. It's the last vibration and it's time to make chess moves. So I got some questions that I'm going to answer and try to keep it as brief as I possibly can. You're going to hear me pause a lot because I'm trying to get some thoughts together. It is Sunday. I haven't been on in about a month. And we're going to try to roll through these now. Y'all give me a minute. Bear with me. Some pretty decent questions. They're not really on topic of what I wanted to talk about, but we could get it in. All right. What you're seeing now is, I'll go with the questions in a second. Let me set a tone. Bling. I'll tell you why this is on my finger now. All right, what's going on today is the last vibration that's being sent to the righteous. You know, biblically, they say the truth, the way, the light. No, I am what's true, I am the righteous path, and I am the brightness. That's what y'all listening to, that's who y'all follow. Someone who's true, someone who's walking the right path, and someone who's very bright. What's happening today to all of the children that has not caught the train or caught the bus or mentally figured out with all the signs that's been put in front of them for the last, let's say, 3 years strong. Some people may have been ignoring the vibration, but it's been a vibration telling you things, whether it's hints on TV, whether it's a friend saying something, whether it's you out viewing something. You've been getting hints to change your life, to do something different. Now, this summer of 2022, I feel strongly about it. It's the last solar vibration for the solar children. You're either going to convert your life, change your life, or you're going to stay on a spiritual path, a Jesus path, a church path, a get up and go to work path, pay your bills, 401k, pension, and still don't own nothing, and just keep going in that rotation. If you've not been pulled out of that by now, or if you're not pulled out of that by maybe the end of this solar summer, I strongly suggest that you do that, you make a change, but I will suggest that there will be no more time for these people because dead energy is now being kicked to the side. 6,000 year reign that the solar beings gave to the Illuminati on this planet is now being taken away from them. They're now being stripped of it. So what you see is war, what you see is homosexuality, bestiality, people running, they don't know whether they should be vegan, they don't know whether they should eat meat. You got, people changing jobs, people mad about their jobs, getting more frustrated. You're taking in less bullshit. A lot of things bothering y'all now. The reason is because it was time for you to get yourself together. and you're letting it pass. You didn't make a change in your life this year or last year that you feel you should make. And you can start by getting rid of black people, niggers, and then coming on into being the bright person. Stop thinking like them. Stop saying Black Lives Matter. Stop walking online. Stop saying someone owes you. You're waiting on retribution. This person is slowing me down. I didn't do this because my boss is an asshole. I'm going to get this done, but I'm waiting on this person. All of you people not moving forward, living in death, are now beginning to die and beginning to see it. A lot of women, especially the women. I give credit to a lot of men out there, men that's getting themselves together. They, you know, whatever they're doing, turning Muslim, y'all turning vegan, you're eating right, you're trying to eat right. We're gonna get in that. Whether that's the right thing or not, you're making a conscious decision to change from the norm, from what you've been doing the last 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 years. Getting up, going to work, paying bills, rotating right back around, having enough money to do nothing. And women are losing men behind this because men are figuring out that these women are broke. They're broke with all of this apartments or their little car notes or they, you know, they mortgage or rent, whatever they have, they don't really have nothing because they got to work hard to sustain it. And they remind me of like a hamster on a wheel. He's moving, but he ain't getting nowhere. Hamsters on a wheel. And that's how a lot of y'all are starting to feel. Y'all are starting to feel like hamsters on the wheel. Myself, I had to discipline my marijuana smoking habits and not smoke marijuana anymore. It's been a while since I smoked any marijuana. If I do, it would be late at night, not under the sun, if I ever do again. But that was one of the changes that I wanted to make. No more smoking weed under the solar sun. A lot of y'all might be getting this. You gotta slow down on your weed. I'm not knocking you, I'm just helping you do what I did. You gotta look at certain things and take it out of your norm and see if things change. Because the norm ain't gonna change nothing. Why? Because it's the norm. So I had to take a lot of marijuana smoking out day to day. Can't be smoking marijuana. So it's been over a month, 2 months where I don't even use marijuana anymore. If I do, it'd be late at night under the lunar moon. We'll get my thoughts together, but I don't even need it like that anymore. So that's one of the steps I made. Another step I made. And y'all can follow these steps because these steps work for me. I started noticing people around me, the Hennessy drinkers, the bottle getters, the dudes that get up 10, 11 in the morning, 12 in the morning, they want bottles. In the evening, they got more bottles. They're mixing it with bubbly, with wine. At nighttime, they gotta get more bottles. I cannot be around those people anymore, sad to say. These are my friends. But Hennessy is a bad spirit. Liquor is a bad spirit. That's why they call liquor stores spirits. Those are the spirit people. And they're becoming more and more demonically possessed. You got grown men throwing up at the end of the night. Other grown men laughing at them, telling them what they did the next morning, and they're not even remembering what they did. These would be my friends. And knowing that, here they go again the next night, drinking. Not just my friends, this is what's going on in the circle, in life, in all hoods. Black people. Arguments, yo, I don't fuck with this nigga, man, get the fuck out of here, you know, yelling and screaming and the next morning you'll hear it. And I've about 4 months ago I decided to be the person that wanted to hear it. Started walking away early once I see people start drinking. And I started to be the person that when they say, you heard what happened last night? And I go, nope, you can tell me because I wasn't there. And that's what it is. Y'all can't be there no more. Y'all have a calling. Right now, something is calling you, the listener. It's the reason you're listening to this particular broadcast. You have a better or higher calling than your girlfriend or than your homeboy or even your family members, your cousins, whoever they may be, male or female. And you're tired of being around them now. You're tired of being around ignorance. What this is you're being called, you're being channeled into. Because Life is changing its channel, and it's trying to tell people, look, I'm changing the channel. If you want to tune in on this channel. That means you have to walk away a lot of the norm of what you've been used to doing. Even your job, it's driving you crazy, and you know it. Because your job is the hamster on the wheel. It's every day is taking your energy, and you're not really getting nothing out of it. If you cannot cast a paycheck and do a few things and still have some extra money, and to me, you're a bum and you're a fool to continuously be doing this. Not because you do it, because you continuously do it and there's no results. And better than that is taking up all your time and you're not getting nothing done. You got nothing owned. Then when you want something new, that got to be a car note because you can't afford to buy anything. So you already planning to put another bill on your head. You have to get out of this life and know that once you close your eyes and redirect yourself and change, that solar will follow, and all the things you thought you would be out of, you will not be out of. You will have effortlessly. But you can't make that deal. You can't go in and say, oh, I'm going to stop all of this. You know, what I'm going to get? No, it can't be like that. You just have to know that the vibration of this world is off and it doesn't fit you. The vibration of this world is off right now and it does not fit Apex Solar 1. So I changed vibration. I got heavier into the solar vibration. And I'm getting away from black niggers, black people, ignorant people who drink. I don't want to really have friends anymore that I know on a day-to-day basis drink. You're my friend, but you know I can't be around you because that spirit, that sweat, that breath of yours, I don't want near me because it's alcohol, and alcohol is a demon. I love drill music, but I can't listen to it no more because it's demon music. If you listen to drill music in the voice that they have to use, how they have to deepen the knots in their voice, if you listen to anything satanic or devilish, it's the same. And drill music is nothing but killing, ops, getting at somebody. It's the failure of, it's the children of the children. Like I told you, when you have 15, remember back in the day when you see this little girl, she's 15, she's 16, they're having babies. Well, you're listening to the babies that they had and raised, all the young men and women that's on drill music, robbing, killing, in gangs, because they was raised by absolutely nobody, by children themselves. Remember growing up saying that girl 15, 16, she having a baby. Well, that baby is now 18, 19, 20. And those are your demon bad children of the world today. And those are your homosexual children of the world today. Transvestite children of the world today. Mixed up because not even their parents was growing with their parents. A lot of us got raised by our grandparents. Then we had the nerve to have parents. And didn't put them, children, and didn't put them in a dual family home. Raised them separately. So what do you think? The child that you're supposed to go back to get a higher learning. Remember, a child shall lead the way. They took that away from us. There's no child that's going to lead the way anymore because the children are demonically possessed. So what do? This may bother a lot of people, but it's going to help a lot of people. Bother a lot of my personal friends that go get up every day and go to work. They may feel insulted because they're doing the right thing. But are you doing the right thing if you don't want to work, if you don't like working, and you know it's not enough, and you know it's bothering you going to work every day, and you're not getting no real results other than I'm not going to jail. Maybe one day I retired, I could chill out and wait for a check. That's what you're waiting for. Then you've been taken out now because you're not even thinking about futuristic things. You're waiting to die. It's like a person that gets sick and they take them to a hospice and they say, well, we're going to chill with you. You're waiting to die. You're waiting to retire and do nothing. So why should solar allow you the energy to just do that? Why shouldn't solar replace that energy? And those are the people dying. That's why your homeboy died. That's why your girlfriend died. That's why your girlfriend is sick and dying. That's why your homeboy is sick and dying. That's why your mom's passed. That's why your dad passed. That's why this person was in a car accident. That's why this person got robbed and stabbed. That's why this cut on the news. All of these children are getting killed. 19 children. That's sickness, man. That is terrible for these children to have to be a sacrifice because of these maniacs, these drugged up men or people or wherever it's coming from. It's a sickness to involve innocent people, children, innocent people on trains, on their way to their jobs. Like I said, they are not bothering anybody. So why are innocent people being attacked? Why did 19 children get killed? Why is this continuously happening now? Why over the last year, all of these random shootings and killings right out on the street? Subways, schools, shopping malls. Think about what I'm telling y'all. And now it's getting to what? Innocent people. Why innocent people? We'll put together what I just said. These innocent people were going to do nothing. If this program might hurt you, but those children might have not did nothing but grow up to be demons and killers. Those people on the train, those people, whoever got hurt, wounded, were just going to work to do nothing. They was not putting no type of investment into the future while you're watching the whole planet, the trees being torn down, the air being depleted, the water being depleted, 5G everywhere, homosexuality everywhere. The earth is crying. And all these people doing is shopping, taking vacations, and going back and forth to work. Well, you became a target. We don't need you in life anymore. So people are being killed by way of lunatic attacks. That's what's going on. The working people. And I told y'all this. If your life don't make a difference, then why should we leave you here? You're going to be part of the sacrifice. You're hearing it all over. Innocent people on a train that y'all would say civilians, not bothering anybody. Well, they're not helping anybody either. Because working people are some of the most locked-in-minded, nastiest motherfuckers in the world. Because they think their job is everything. I got a job. My job. Well, I have to go to work. I had to cash my check, my 401k. Get the fuck out of here. You're living miserable. Working people are living miserable. And they, too, are being targeted. And I feel sorry for the children. But I have to share with y'all that these children were just demonic children. They were born from negative energy from their parents who was high. How many of y'all think these children today that's maybe 15 or better, 14, 13, how many of y'all thought their two parents was in love, got together and said, baby, I love you, let's build a future and have a child? No, they come out of a fuck. They come out of just a fuck. And 7 times out of 10, you're a Hennessy baby. Your parents were drunk. It was a quick flash. So that child didn't get anything. This is a sick world. You have women to halfway blame for homosexuality, and I'll explain that. You have the church to blame for praying and begging, things of that nature. And you have yourself to blame for not picking up yourself and answering a lot of calls that even if you was watching TV or somebody called and said something, you ignored the signs. You ignored life signs for dollar signs. You ignored life signs to get to work, to get your money. How are women to blame for homosexuals? Women don't realize the power, not females. Right now I'm speaking of women. And it's, what do you mean, Apex, how do women got something to do with homosexuality? Well, like I said, if a woman is in a house and it was coded and you're really following a housewife, your man is really that money earner, he gives you the money for the bills, the groceries and everything, he ain't going to the supermarket. What you go to buy, he's going to eat. What you cook and put on that plate, he's going to eat. If you change the diet in the house, you'll change your husband's health or your boyfriend's health. He ain't getting back up and go outside. He might order something, but then you tell him, no, don't order nothing. You got to eat this food. It's not white rice, it's brown rice tonight. You don't have nothing with sugar. You drank a soda earlier. You're going to drink water with your food today. You had a steak earlier, so you're not going to have steak. You have some beans tonight that you wrap with the brown rice. You have some baked chicken. If a woman changes the food structure in the cabinets in the kitchen, refrigerator, the man reach in, he only gonna eat healthy food if she put it there. So I'm saying that to say, if a woman look at men and start saying, man, I like y'all in army fatigues. I love men that just look masculine. Men will go out and start wearing army fatigues. If your son I'm talking about in particular, or your little brother, your little cousin, boy, man or male, whatever, comes to you, a woman, and says that, mommy, I'm gay, or I want to be gay, and you don't look at them like they're fucking retarded, like that bothered you, like there's something sick and wrong with that. If you, Dwayne Wade or Magic Johnson, and be a part of these sick people who say go along with that, they have a right to do what they want to do, let's back them, then you're a part of the sickness. You're a part of the sickness. You're destroying your warrior, your protection, your protection. The man is here to protect you, woman, to be your warrior, to hug you, to love you. The man, the real man. Don't let him get caught up in spirituality, in this homosexuality thing. And the other thing that's given leeway to this is the Bible. And I'll get into that. Just like I just told you how I feel a woman has a lot to do with it, because she can merely not agree with it. If my son come to me and say, Dad, I want to be gay, then he can leave my life alone. He can get out of my life. He can never see me anymore. And that's that. There's no coming back from that. There's no, oh, I tried that for 2 years, Dad, I'm not gay anymore. No, no, no. There's something sick and there's something wrong with that, son, and I can't invest in that. You go and live your life, son. Get the hell away from Dad. I don't want or love you anymore, son. That might sound cold. Might sound cold, but it's what I would have to do for my child to go outside, take a walk, and say, oh, shit. No, I ain't trying that. That bothered Dad. How do you know they won't do that? But once they come to you and you, oh, well, that's what you want to do, you sure? And okay, and you're sick as hell. Because think of your day, you telling that to your mother. Yeah, I know. You hear that thought? You hear that telepathy thought that you just got? Think of it right now, you telling that shit to your parents. How scared you would be to go in your room, tell your mother or your father you gay, especially your mother. I'm talking about 20, 30 years, 30, 40 years ago, as we was growing up. You couldn't go tell these big mamas and all these ancient black people y'all talking about, the wisdom, the big mamas of the family. You couldn't go tell them. There wasn't no lesbians going on. They wasn't raising dyke-ass daughters and women that thought they were men and had dicks and wearing shorts and walking around with girls. If you look at them like there's something wrong, they'll stop it. They'll know they're going against nature. But let me ask y'all one question. When a man wants to turn faggot, who becomes his best friend? A woman. A woman. It's just right there to be his best friend. Faggots have best friends. And they're women. And if it's your child, then you're the top supporter of your child doing something sick. So you support something sick, so you're sick. And we have to get rid of all sick people. This is to all soul futurists. Get rid of sick people that's around sick people. I don't care if it's a woman and she allowed her child to be a lesbian or a gay person. Get rid of that person. Get all of that out your life. You can't be around it. It can't represent you. I cannot have a woman who has a child that's gay or who has, I don't want to be around none of it. I don't want none of it around my aura to represent me, to have to be around those people. Because then I would have put myself around it by being in love with a woman who might have a gay daughter or a gay son, or she, she doesn't mind the gay thing and she has gay friends and then bye. Because, let me tell you something. You have to be on the straight and narrow, on the straight solar light ray to beam in. Everything has to be right. Everything around you has to be right. Just as you're saying, I got to get rid of friends, and earlier if you were saying, yeah, that's true, I got to get rid of certain friends, don't run now when I'm saying this, because you got to unlock that too. That's what's holding you up, because you have gay energy around you, be it through your children or not. And this is to everybody listening. This is sick. And it's time to play chess. That's why you're looking at the chessboard in the park behind it. The playtime is over. Shouldn't be nobody in that park playing. This chessboard you see in front of you on that screen, it should be the moves you're making right now, because life has come down to making the right moves, strategic moves. And you have to be with strategic people. Women are going crazy nowadays. I got women calling me, calling my sisters, calling my friends. I got homeboys trying to get in touch with me, trying to call the number they think they can call me and get in touch with me. Yo, why homeboy, why you ain't answering the phone? Why I can't get in touch with them? And I'm not talking about my close people that I just couldn't answer the phone for. Y'all know to exclude yourself from that. Especially my big brother, Big Will. But I've been kind of busy and couldn't get at the phone for a minute, but that's not directly to Soul Futurists that can't get in touch with me, that's been trying. That's not for you. Trust me, because I'm going to get in touch with you. It's for the people who I'm shedding, like a snake sheds, or like a lamb sheds, or like any animal that sheds their fur. And then I'm using that experience for maybe a blanket or something. I'm using that experience of that person I shed it as a guideline and not to go back to teach people not to be around. That's why I have no phone. That's why I smoke no more marijuana. And you have women that has failed in life that are going crazy. They're realizing that white thought, that white man being security or having sex with a white man didn't work for security. They're realizing that my apartment, my condo, my house, my car note, my nice clothes, I've been having this for years, but something's not fitting. They don't have a real man. No woman wants a man that they got a guy that a woman wants a man and she wants him to be a man, and a man wants his woman to be a woman already. Not begging and not broke, not being around him, not weaved up, not with eyelashes, not having to remove a bunch of makeup, not talking about getting a bunch of surgeries and stuff like that. If that woman want to get in shape, she's talking about a gym and jogging and eating right. Not going to no false alternative, but that's what these fake women have to do because they have grown so fake, even in thought. All their lives, they act uppity. But these women are now paying for what they did to men. Women are going crazy. Men, it's going to be the woman that's going to try to bring you down once you start rising. The crazy ones, the female, the ones who still got that feminine energy, that female energy on them. They're going to start wondering, why did you ever really love them? They're going to start just radically arguing, hanging up phones on you, going behind your back to family members trying to talk about you, getting their story right, because they're going crazy and they know they failed. And especially if the man walked away from them, they're gonna try to bring you down any way they can. Women are going crazy right now because majority of them have failed. So what you see is a bunch of fake-ass robotic women with eyebrows, weaves, patting on their hair, skin getting all fucked up, bodies are getting all messed up. They are demonically possessed now because they didn't change. They kept being nasty. They want to take position of a woman. They wanted to go for women's lib. They want to be liberated. They want to do it themselves. They want to hold on to, well, I had to raise my child myself, and I had to do this, I had to be like this. And this is going to sound like every woman I've been with. Every woman I've been with that had this position, or that this can fit, going to say, I know he's talking about me. Bitch, no, I'm not. If I wanted to talk about you, I'll talk to you and be with you, and I wouldn't have dumped your ass. And I would have all the bullshit phone calls coming from you every day that I was having, that I had to get rid of because your phone call wasn't about shit. And now you still think I'm just talking about you. No, there's many of y'all that came in the same rotation. Y'all came with jobs, cars, bills, and plans, and needed my money. Needed to call me to send you some kind of money for something personal because you didn't have it, bitch. And that's just that. So I want one woman listening that this fits. This fits a lot of different women that I've been with in the past, just trying out stuff and then kicking y'all asses to the curb once it didn't fit. And that's what they mad about. I've kicked about 5 or 6 women to the curb in the last 3 years alone. But Alicia ain't go nowhere. least she ain't going nowhere. Because she's my real woman. She passed my test. I passed her test. See, I don't want no woman to get with me and not test me. You got to test that I'm really God. That I'm really solar. God is over with. God vibration is over with. If Jesus didn't work, Allah, Buddha, all religions, everything. Look at the state of the world. How the fuck can you tell me religion worked? God did not work. And his reign is up. How can you go to the Bible, Apex, and blame the Bible for some of these things? Well, if you put a 4-year-old child in the room and you're raising him, he don't know too much, and you put a Bible in his hand and come back 2 years later, well, say he's 8 or 9, you put a Bible in his hand after you learn how to read, and you come back 2 or 3 years later, he's going to say, oh, wow, I didn't know I can kill my friend. That's Judas Iscariot. That's you being taught about a man called Judas who double-crossed Jesus and snitched on him. That's a snitch. That's snitching. He told the Romans where Jesus was at, where his friend was at, stabbed him in the back, and let the Romans get him, according to the story. In the Bible. Cain slew Abel. Supposed to be 2 brothers. And it's in the Bible it says Cain was jealous of Abel and took a rock and killed Abel. So the child that read that book like, damn, I can kill my brother too? Harlots. What do you think harlots is? Whores. How many back pages whores out here, girls out here selling themselves to make a buck on back page? You can go to their house, they'll come to you, they're making their own escort services. Whores. And how many of you working women were thinking about doing a page to get extra money and whoring yourself and selling your soul? Well, when the wise serpent, who was me, came over to Adam and Eve, the male and female, and they knew not their nakedness, they were naked. A serpent was coming over to teach Eve, bitch, you naked, you stripping. So her and Adam grabbed leaves, put it over their private parts. But when you go to a Masonic lodge, the first thing they do when they get dressed is they put the apron over their private parts. That's where that comes from, that leaf that Adam is supposed to have put over his private part, if you believe these accounts, because y'all are believers. But the serpent became the devil in the eyes of biblical readers because the serpent was the one that's coming giving law and order. This was a race of people, the solar people that already was on the earth. And if it was a serpent coming over to Eve, he was wise. All you can do is go back to Egypt and see the wise Egyptians wore serpents on their grounds. How do you know they were walking? Because didn't the God say for the serpent's punishment, he cut off his legs on his belly, he should crawl? What serpent had legs? So a man coming over to Eve and telling her, bitch, you naked. Put your clothes on. And that's what I did to women. I brought light into their lives. I taught them different things about life, about what you're believing and what you're not believing, what you're eating, your thought process. And they can't do without that because no other man did it. And that's what they're holding on to. That's why I'm important to a lot of women. They remember where their enlightenment came from. They remember the serpent that came over to her naked ass and said, stop stripping, bitch. You're better than this. In that, you get your first transvestite in the Bible. So when you look at the Wayne Wade's son, Magic Johnson's son, you see all of these trannies going on, these men that's becoming women. The Bible taught this. Where did the Bible teach this, Apex? Let's go to Genesis and read your creation story. God breathed into man his breath of life and man became, right? You became. You were gonna be, right? You became a what? Living soul. Stop right there like I teach y'all. Don't use nothing else. A living soul. You had nothing to do with spirit. You have nothing to do with being a human. When God breathed into man his breath of life, meaning adding the flora, adding the stimulation for you to have thought, and you became a living soul. And then this God took you and walked with you and taught this Adam, right? And that's one Adam. That's you. That's the one who came from an eternal source. That's everlasting life. I don't know death. Later on, they switched to atoms. They switch atoms, and you think that Adam, that A-D-A-M, Adam, that in Eve that was put in the garden, has nothing to do with what I just taught you when God breathed into one man and he became a living soul. If not, then why you ain't soul people? Huh? Why you ain't soul people? If God did something, you became a living soul. You're living. You're not dying. Where did death come in at? Death come in and at the creation of two images, male and female, we went on and created and procreated both. And set them in the garden to be slaves for us. Those were the creations. Those were not the ones who got to walk with God and said whatever you name stuff, Adam. Two different Adams. They switched at Adam. Because when God breathed into this man, his breath of life, then he breathed into a man, is denoting dominance, masculine energy. And God breathed his breath, signifying a man. And man became, signifying another man. So when God do something from genetics, that DNA, that genetic has to form and come out to be a man. It doesn't have ovaries, it doesn't have a vagina, because you cannot take from anyone's DNA that God already coded to be a man. You cannot get a woman out of that. When we begin the creation, when Anki began, the master scientist, or Yaku, whatever you want to call him, began crafting animals and creating mankind from our image, from the image of the woman, we created the European and white man woman first. A female was first, and then we begat a man out of their female, because she was first in the human's creation. Their woman was first. Their Eve or their Lilith was first. And then we went into her and begot a man, because you can get a man out of a woman. You cannot get a woman out of a man. So when they said, and God said it's not right for this man to be alone, and they went into the rib of Adam and begat a female, that's incorrect. Genetically, DNA would be incorrect, because again, how can you go into a man's rib? He's already a man. His makeup is not ovaries, it's not titties, it's not a vagina, it's not eggs. So it would not, you can't get a man out of this. This is teaching transvestism. This is teaching you about a transvestite, how to think. God went into a man and got a woman? Does that sound right? Or do what I just said sound right? We created their women first, and out of their woman came a man. Two of them we sat there to mate, Adam and Eve, but their Eve was first. And guess what? Eve was Adam's mother and lover. So how the hell can you go into Adam's rib and have formed a woman? That would not be right. But guess what you can do today? You see men going into the hospital or surgery and coming out women. Let's use Dwayne Wade, Magic Johnson's son. People with the money to go in and get a surgery. Think about the Bible now. And God said it wasn't right for the man to be alone. Let's make him a helpmate. And he went into Adam's rib and begat a woman. You can't. No genetics or DNA that you found in his rib would have formed into a woman, because that DNA was coded for a man to be a life giver. To be someone who can send life to the woman so she can carry it. So that we knew that female was going to have to be a little more intellectual than that man, because she was going to actually carry his life. We came out personified twins, side by side, genetical code, beam-ins, like you see on Star Trek. Like you see on Star Trek, side by side, all the way down to when we split hermaphrodism, when a male could lay his eggs, a woman could lay her eggs. It wasn't to a long time in evolution when we got together and we started doing it the sexual way. Because these are scientists at work. So when you say that he went into the rib and begot a woman, what do you see now? You see men going into doctors' offices and they're coming out women. That's teaching about a transvestite right there. I'm not saying it. The Bible said that God went into Adam's rib and got Eve. That's backwards. Logically, y'all would have to accept that as being backwards from what you know about life. And where do a man come from? He has to come out of a woman. You understand that? A woman cannot genetically come out of a man. That's a transvestite. Where do you see that at today? Where do you see someone going into a man and then begetting a woman? A doctor performing surgery, changing his penis into a vagina. This is why your Medicaid card will pay for that and won't pay for abortion. It won't pay for brain surgery. That's the Bible teaching us. And then when those two were set in the garden, they were destined to die. Death came with them. You get the word death. They were going to die at 65 or 70 and be took out after being servants and slaves. They came with death and they came with existence. I don't know what existence is. If I knew what existence is and I say I exist, then I must have once not existed. If God breathed into me and I became a living soul, then I come from an eternal source. I come from life. I'm a living soul. The creatures that we put into the garden, if you're looking at that story and they're just zapping in and God went into Adam and begat Eve, okay, now she's here. Now she's in existence. Where was these beings when God formed you and breathed into your breath of life and you became a living soul? Stop right there. This is the Bible, Genesis. That Adam and Eve wasn't here yet. We were here already. They just came into existence. I don't know nothing about existence. I am. And when he did this project, remember, God breathed into you and you became. That was flawless. What are you here to be or not to be? Ain't that Shakespeare or something when they say to be or not to be? You know where they get that from? The Bible. Because when we start experimenting with this Adam and Eve project, we didn't know what we were going to get. We were mixing and crafting our genetics, putting a little bit of carbon in them so they can stand upright. Then watering the carbon down because they wasn't going to need to be sun compatible. So they got the thing that they call it melanin nowadays. For someone to tell you got melanin, they're taking you off the periodic table. I'm telling you, you're a carbon being. Ask anybody that told you about melanin to find melanin for you on the periodic table. They're going to say it's not there. And say, well, why did you take me off the periodic table of life? Carbon is in the sun. I'm sun compatible. I find carbon on the periodic table. Y'all understand that? So when we experimenting and throwing all these genetics together, think of a test tube baby or whatever, and they gotta put it in something, you gotta see if it's gonna be. So we threw all of this in the mix. And just like we became, the scientist there was trying to see if this Eve would be. And they said, I'm gonna try to create this being, this servant, all these genetics together with this animal genetic and all that, and we're gonna see if we can get a being to be. That's why it says God said be, and he was. That's why it says God said be, and you think Adam just popped up. They took the whole genetical science side of you, or the bioalchemistry out of it. I'm not telling you what it was, but it says to be, because if that wouldn't have worked, it wouldn't have been. Ours was automatic. God breathed into man his breath of life, and you became. Became. You became. You were not created. They threw those animal genetics in the mix and wanted to see if you were gonna be by way of a creation. And if it worked, you would get a full. And why you think if it worked, why you think you don't see Adam and Eve as a baby? They're already talking. They're already full-grown men and women. Because this project was going to work or not. It was going to be or not be. Get it? To be or not to be. And then somebody in the Bible asked these alchemists, say, y'all going to create a being that's going to cause mischief? And that's when it says, God said, I know what you know not. Because this is a master scientist talking. Master alchemist saying, I'm nice at this. I know what I'm doing. I know exactly what I'm doing. So that's where you get that walk of life and this transvestite thing going on. Okay? So that's them just coming into existence. If you sitting in a room, let me give y'all a quick example, because I'm the examplist. If you're sitting in a room waiting on somebody, sitting in a room, the room got a lot of pictures in and stuff, you just start reading, studying because you're waiting for someone. Then that person comes, appears, just exists to you, just walks through the door. And then that person say, yo man, where you been? The person that just showed up says, where you been? Your answer is going to be, I've been here already. I've been here. Correct? How somebody that's just going to pop into existence asks you, where have you been? Your answer is going to be, I've been here already. You just existed. Y'all get that? For you to say you exist means you once didn't exist. For you to say I have a new toy, then you once didn't have a new toy. Like the one you're describing. Y'all understand that? Some of us got here by way of flash projection, light projection. We're projected into the planet. Our DNA, our genetics were projected in a beam of light like you see on Star Trek. Some wasn't. There's chaos in the world. There's women that's going crazy right now because they have failed in life and they could do nothing now but weave themselves, make up themselves, eyelash themselves, take meat from here to put it on the butt, all of that still to look good, and it's nothing to do with attacking the mental that they need, because they need that through a serpent. They need a serpent god. They need a man in their life. Time for gods is over. Oh, the gods this, Israel this, we the gods of the earth and all that. Those are stages I brought y'all through to become solar. All right? So y'all have to understand what's going on today. It's chaos on this planet. And women are responsible for a lot of the gay action that's going on, because women have the power to look at a man and say, that's wrong, you're gay. Women have the power to do that. But they're not. They're becoming gay people's best friend. It's always a woman that a gay man is with, because his friend that's not gay is like, man, get the hell away from me with that shit. But a woman is always there to cater to it. And you can't build your next generation warrior. It's like you guys on this vegan diet. Let me do this real quick. You need a certain amount of protein that only animal flesh can give you. Not from beans and all of that shit y'all reading from the white man and I'll go vegan because beans got this. It don't have the right protein in, zinc in it and all that, right? Grams of protein and stuff like that you would need to sufficiently be strong and a warrior. You just don't know how to get that animal meat back out of your body by way of a cleanser, powdered cleanser that will really push it back through, so that meat that you do obtain won't stay stuck in your intestines. That's all you got to do. But if you had a headache, real bad headache, and someone gave you an aspirin, and your headache went away, and there's 200 more aspirin in the bottle, would you start taking 200 aspirin? No, you don't have a headache no more. A vegan diet was for people that were sick. That's why you take it when you want to get healthy, because you done got sick, fucking around on this earth with this white man. Think about where you start seeing fruit at. Where do you start seeing fruit? When you go to Rome, the culture, and you do anything in Rome, and you look at all those old Roman movies, don't you see all the Caesars, and they had those big banquets with all the fruit all around. They wear grapes all on their head. The Caesars are eating out of gold cups of fruits and all of that kind of stuff. That's because they were sick. They were vitamin deficient. They needed that. They needed that fruit nutrition. You don't hear all that in Egypt, Mesoamerica, Incas, Mayans, Aztecs. You don't hear about them on no fruit diet. These beings wasn't sick. We are the reptilian. We took on the reptilian genetic. We don't know no sicknesses. It was wise for us to take on the dinosaur genetic when we personified or beamed in here into our genetics, so that we wouldn't know no sicknesses. We knew sickness when we mixed with their Adam and Eve. When we started letting them cook for us and taking their diet and educating us and all of that and taking on their ways, we became sick, mind, body, and soul. We did not need no goddamn grapes and fruits. That's a homosexual diet. I'll repeat it again. You're homonizing yourself if you're staying on a vegan diet. Once you flesh your body out, you do not no longer need to eat vegan, because you're cured already. You got all the impurities out of you. You have to go back to a protein masculine diet, because I'll tell you this, a vegan diet weakens your sperm. You need protein in that sperm. High doses of protein for you to give off the next bright solar child. Trust what I'm telling you. Don't go to no white man book. Feel this in your gut. You know, why you think even in Ramadan or fasting, it's the 30 days and that's it. If that was so good to do, you'd do it forever. But even the Quranic writers understood the real natural way to do something is 30 days. And your body jumps right back in because you are a so-called black man. You're a gold man, you're a brown man, you're a carbonite. You don't need what they need to and how long they need it to. They need it for life. They need that vegan diet. They need it for life because they're sick. They were born sick because they were born from animal genetic. We can kick back anything. So a vegan diet is homosexual. It was for the Romans. They were vegans. Remember? They all had grapes and fruits. And then when you're a homosexual, what's the first thing they call you? What was the first joke about somebody being gay? What did they say they was? They call them what? A fruit cake or fruity. Oh yeah? What do a fruit cake got to do with gay? Or what the hell did I just tell you? The gay man was the one that was fruit eaters, grapes and oranges, and look back at the Roman times. That's where that started at. That's where you see all that grapes and all that kind of shit. From those fruit cakes. Y'all understand this? You can't be a warrior on a vegan diet, man. The minute you go vegan, you get skinny, you start looking drawn up. And once you continue to just take too much nutrition, you're taking something else even out of you. It's escaping me right now. You're even breaking your body down more because now your body ain't getting the right proper nutrition that it needs because you're going too vegan. Why do you think all these vegan dudes want to sneak in a protein or something that got a smoothie or something that got protein in it? Because they not really, they feel that source of meat being lost. They feel that. Remember, we was doing it because the animals wasn't so fucked up back then. But we also knew how to get that animal right back out of us. Think about brushing your teeth. Your teeth could be clean on the outside. 2 days later, you can go floss and be taking meat out that the brush didn't do. So if you eat meat and you're not using a good cleanser to flush the meat back out of your intestines, that's why it's bad to eat meat. That's why, because it's going to stay in your intestines and rot. Think about when you pick that shit out your teeth. It smells. So you women that's constantly eating meat, this is why your sweat is not so good. It has a potent to it, and this is why your vagina has a bad smell to it. Some women has a smell to their vagina. Why? Because I hate to sit and see women eat all kind of meat. Hate to see you eat oxtails today, eat a pork chop the next day, eating a steak the next day, and you're not even cleaning it out. What do you think your vagina is going to smell like? What do you think your breath is going to smell like? You are what you eat. So you have to cleanse this stuff right back out of you. You have to be with a man or a woman that knows these kind of things. Two solar people together. You can't be an Allah person and a Jesus person. You can't be a solar person and a Jesus person. You can't be a Buddhist and a goddamn witch. You have to be compatible with each other. The time now is to find your mate. Because people without mates are going crazy. Men without women are going crazy. Women without men are going crazy because we need each other. But we need to be on the same page. Okay? So that's another way how the Bible is a guideline to all kind of bad stuff. All the bad stuff is in the Bible. Calling a woman a bitch is in the Bible. Matthew 15:34, when Jesus said it's not right for me to take children's bread of Israel and cast it to dogs. A bitch is a female dog. Y'all understand that? On 4 legs. That's where you get calling a woman a bitch at. This is a sickness, man. Look in your Bible, and I showed y'all this a few months ago. Remember I showed y'all this on one of my shows before this killing of all of those children in that place 2 months ago that took place. And a solar vibration goes out for them. I feel bad about that because these are innocent children. But didn't I give y'all some quotes from the Bible maybe a month or two ago on one of my shows when I said that these children were laughing at a man in the Bible, laughing at an old man, and God gave the old man the power to attack and kill, 42 children? Look, if y'all don't follow my last show. I'm not automatically saying, yeah, I know, because I followed Soul Future. Yep, you put that out already, Apex, way before this happened. Open your, today is Sunday. Y'all haven't heard from me a while. Go Google, I'll allow y'all to do it. Google, go back to Google Gaga. Google a chapter in the Bible where a man attacks 42 children with a bear, using a bear to kill all the children. Oh man, because the children were making fun of him. God gave him the leeway to go kill the children. This is in the Bible. They're only acting out their book. And you got this book in your house open. All you do is walk past it because you think it means something. But it's possessing you because you ain't closed it yet. All that witchcraft that's in that Bible that's in your house, you better get the hell out of there. You better get it the hell out of there. It's time to start reading anyway. Reading, I get tired of people calling me. I get tired of building with gods. And I'm sitting there and it's us one-on-one. And these gods just keep showing me something that they got on YouTube. Hey, you heard this person, you heard that person. Look what this person said. Look, what about you? Me and you are sitting here building. I'm talking to you out of my thought. I don't have no papers in my hand. When I'm teaching, I got to give people instruction to go to this, to go to that. But if we sitting there, don't prove yourself to me by handing me your phone and showing me some other motherfucker teaching. Because I teach all of this stuff already. What is the greatest thing you ever been taught, Apex? The greatest thing I ever been taught was how to teach. My teacher sat me down and told me how to teach. That's why I'm so nice with this shit. Because I didn't just jump out there. It took me 2 years to be courteous to people, to know how to answer all kind of questions, to shine like I do. Because it's not easy having these examples and getting into this vibration and stuff like that. But today's lesson, and the moral of today's lesson is it's over. This is the last call. This is it for so-called black people. You're either going to recognize you're a carbonite, a child of the sun, and you're going to walk the way of the 144,000, or you're going to hold on to your job and all your earthly possessions, your thoughts, your friends. You're going to go out, have your drink. You're going to go out and just do nothing. You're going to keep smoking marijuana. You're not going to put no discipline in your life. That's it for you. You're going to die. Your girlfriend is going to die. Your homeboy is going to die. Yep, your homeboy is going to jail. Yep, somebody's going to be killed in a car accident again. Again, because we first started taking people out in car accidents. Now it's just random killing of the civilians. Think about cleaning up process, even in a regular war with your army. You don't hear of innocent civilians being killed while we're going in trying to clean up this place. Sacrifices have to be made. And y'all have failed. All working people who sat all their life, went back and forth to work for a fucking piece of paper and didn't get your soul life together and accepted being spiritual when you're a soul person, mind, body, soul. Let your soul lead the way, soul controller of the universe. You have a solar plex. You live under a solar system. The sun is what grows everything. But you let somebody teach you about a master called Jesus. That's what you did. You grew up not knowing, and better yet, you don't want to know. Well, this is the final call for everybody. I'm sorry, homosexuals. You're dead. I'm sorry, what LGB, whatever, the fighting for all that rainbow faggot stuff. The devil's time is up. We control Satan. He's our friend. When the curtain comes up and everybody's clapping at the end of the show, we're going to have Satan right there with us, because there's no such thing called Satan. There's no such thing called the devil. It's in your mind. Negative is still going to flow over this planet. And we're still going to say thank you for the positivity, thank you for the negativity. They did their job, you just didn't do yours. And you're still casting out in the wrong direction. You're still getting up tomorrow mad. Every day you get up a little bit mad of going to work, you're suffering, you're killing yourself because y'all are doing things you don't want to do. Who cares about the money at the end of the rainbow, at the end of the line, when you're walking into an empty house? When you're walking into no one to hug, no man to teach you, no man to be there. That's why I got women going crazy. Because I don't want them. No, I got females going crazy. I gave them a chance to be with me. I gave them a chance to walk with God, to walk with solar. But they walked away because of their own behavior. Didn't want to give me a balance. Well, guess what? I'm finally walking away for real, for the last call. And I'm gonna sit back on this planet and watch the death of my own people. I'm gonna watch y'all die. And I'm gonna move into the fourth dimension.